Yo, what's good guys? Hello and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing a very serious one. Now, a lot of you guys may have heard of the situation between Nigel Jones and Carlos Lastra from Braille. Well, if you haven't, I'm going to give you a quick recap and then we're going to go over some of the screenshots that Nigel himself has sent me that pretty much damn Carlos more than we could ever imagine. And trust me, it's worse than we thought. So before we get into that, let's do a quick recap of the situation. If you haven't seen it already, this is the thing that sparked the beef right here. This is the clip.
So these are just the teammates now. Okay, isn't it like old Braille people, like it's Carlos Lastra, right? What the fuck did you make that face for? Do we got to speak about it? Should we speak about it? I don't think we should speak about it.
We should.
That's how my man was a cool nigga.
From everything that I know behind the scenes, don't fuck with Carlos.
Okay, I don't know what the fuck. What?
And trust me, now that I know what I know, you guys won't either.
Everybody knew the info that I knew, most of y'all would not fuck with Carlos. I'm just saying that. There's a lot. I
don't know.
There's a lot. He did a whole video with John Hill. I don't know if you watched that, like the decline of Carlos.
Look, I've been out the loop with this skate shit for a minute, you know?
Yeah, now that I know what I know, the video with John Hill, John would have never let Carlos on his channel if he'd have known, because we all know that John's a fairly normie kind of guy when it comes to skateboarding. And he likes to keep it PG, so would Carlos be on there? Certainly not.
Damn.
Fucking bullshit.
What the fuck? What was the video about?
Why he left Braille and all this whatnot.
Okay. Saying some bullshit?
I could drop a bomb right now, I mean, but it's just, there's so much behind the scenes that people think they know that they don't know. That
yeah. And it seems like the
I'm a real
team is a
honest
family.
Motherfucker, and I want to give y'all real honest shit. But there's a lot of shit out there y'all don't really want to fucking hear. Like straight up. It's just. Yeah,
he's right.
I will say I am somebody that genuinely likes anybody. I'm not gonna take like seeing your face as I hate you. Like you have to give me a reason to not like you, and it takes a lot to get to my hate list. Fuck that nigga. Like I have no respect for him. I truly don't. I truly don't. He is absolutely incredible at skateboarding. That's like
he's good as fuck,
shit.
Bro.
Like he's an amazing skateboarder. As a human, nope.
It's just fucking me up because like the last time I met him, he was on some cool shit. I mean, I don't really talk to him like that.
I'm not gonna take.
Okay, so I think we'll leave it there for the Lamont podcast. But basically, what Nigel's saying is if we knew what he knew, then we'd all think very differently of Carlos. Now, when this video first came out, I made a response video on it, and I wanted to know what it was, because obviously you can't say all these things, say you guys would hate him if you knew what I knew, and then not give us any of the information, because it's just leading us with so many open questions. Now, after I made this video, Nigel actually reached out to me and said I should have just asked him myself in the first place. I had no prior contact with Nigel before this, so I didn't feel like I had the right to message him and ask him for this stuff, but he actually came forward and came to me with it. So that's why we're making this video today. I'm going to rip out my phone and we're going to go through the Nigel DMs, and I'm going to screen record it. So give me a second. So the first thing Nigel said to me was, if you want to talk Carlos, we can talk Carlos. Much rather you reach out to me about it than make speculations without proper info. I'm not one to hate someone for something petty, and I'm an open book and always honest. Let me know your schedule and we'll talk. So obviously when I first saw this message, I was like, okay, cool, maybe it is serious. Nigel is obviously a very stand-up guy. He wants to let people know. I understand why he didn't want to drop this bomb in the middle of Lamont's podcast, especially without Lamont knowing, because it would have been a bit of a weird situation there just to do that out of the blue. So I do actually understand why Nigel didn't in the first place, but we're here now and I'm about to reveal it all for you. So I said, yeah, man, it's all good. I hear you. I'm 100% down to do that once I get back from Amsterdam. Obviously, this was last week he sent me this message. And he just said, yes, sir, keep me updated. Once I got home, I said, let me know a day that's good for you. He said, for sure, I'm going to run this part 2 podcast with Lamont, which is obviously the sequel to what we just watched. Not out yet. Otherwise, I would be using that too. And then after that, I can dump all the info and receipts to you, my guy. Like I said, I just want to be honest about the whole thing. So I think this will bring awareness and closure to everyone. That should happen on Thursday. Now, on Friday, I hit him up and asked if he wanted to schedule in a call, at which point he just sent me the screenshots and said once he's got some free time next week, we can jump on a call then, which is going to be coming up in an upcoming video. So if you guys want me to do a call with Nigel and then maybe even reach out to Carlos and try and get both sides of the story, if some of you guys think that maybe these screenshots might not be damning enough, but but personally I do. You guys can let me know if you want an interview with both of them to get both sides of the story, or if I should just do Nigel because we've already got enough evidence on Carlos. But I'm definitely going to speak to Nigel next week. Anyway, I said, sounds good, mate. I'm down for that. Did you want to jump on a call Friday? Otherwise, feel free to let me know when's good for you. He said, what's good, my G? I got a crazy weekend, but I'm going to send you over some heavy screenshots. Took out names and some specifics, so we're not ruining this girl who still makes content. I should have a better time during the week to really fill you in on the details. There's a lot that leads up to this, but again, I want to be honest with the whole situation. Now, Nigel sent me the screenshots. He did forget to blur out the name in one of them, but I have gone and blurred out the name because this girl, she needs as much privacy as possible. And the last thing we want to do is bring more attention to the victims of the situation, so I've redacted the names that Nigel didn't. Obviously, he intended to, but just one slipped through the cracks. Anyway, with all that being said, we're going to jump into these screenshots and prepare yourself, guys. Prepare yourself. Okay, so first things first. Obviously, in regards to this podcast that we've just checked out here, Carlos actually reached out to Nigel first and said, hey man, I just want to apologize for everything. I'm trying to start a family and get my life straight. I understand that you have a lot of hate and I'm doing better these days as a person, but if we can, just squash it. Okay, so this is what Nigel says. Nigel said, I don't think you fully understand what you've done or even have a clue as to why I don't like you. Aside from being an absolute raging alcoholic while filming and teaching kids, you failed to hold yourself accountable for talking to and trying to get with an underage girl. Sending yourself pics in your underwear and asking her what she wears is absolutely not okay, sober or not. Like, are you fucking serious, dude? That's not even all you've done with someone underage. For the sake of things, we're going to call the girl Stacy. Stacy refuses to come skate with us after the day there with her. You made that girl feel violated. I doubt you even know what you did because you were beyond drunk that day too. None of that shit is okay at all, and yet Braille gave you an easy cop-out and didn't say shit about anything of that. That's bullshit in my opinion, especially since how they did Faye. You need to hold yourself accountable and face the fact of what's been done. Own up to your mistakes. So already right off the bat, we've got some pretty serious allegations here from Nigel saying that he's been sending pictures to underage girls and making people feel uncomfortable, showing up to work drunk, which when you're working with kids is an outrageous thing to do, but that's not even all of it. So let's get to the second screenshot. Okay. After that, Nigel said, I get you're trying to turn your life around and I'm stoked to hear that and I hope you do turn your shit around, but I cannot and will not excuse anything with both instances with those girls. So this has obviously happened more than once, right? And then Carlos says, okay, I didn't do anything with Stacy. I met her one day. I did drink and I own up to that. Not proud of it. I'm just a social guy. I was apologizing for how we would bump heads. I was wrong for that. And it seemed that way. I'm sorry. Congrats on being married if that means anything, which is kind of a weird thing to say in this context. The reason I didn't say anything about Braille, because I wanted you to all still have a job, you know? I just had to leave. I'm just asking for forgiveness. If not, I hope for the best for all of you. So that right there from Carlos seems to be an admission of guilt, in my opinion. When he says, the reason I didn't say anything about Braille is because I wanted you to all still have a job, means that if he was caught doing the nefarious activities of an underage girl, and then it came out that Braille didn't say anything, and this was all happening under their roof, they would probably get way more hassle, way more trouble, and a lot of people would probably lose their jobs over that because Braille would plummet as a company after that sort of reputation. So I can see why Braille themselves didn't say anything if they've let this happen under their own roof, but as a matter of responsibility, whether I can see why they did it or not, they should have said something, they should have done this, and the way that Fetty was just disregarded, Carlos should have had the same treatment. But again, there might not be any proof to that side of the story. That might be why Braille didn't say anything. I'm just going off what I've been told by these people. But anyway, let's continue with these screenshots. You groped all up on her when you were trying to help Stacy up when she clearly didn't need help. She literally told us you touched her boobs when she didn't even need the help. See, man, you don't realize the shit you've done. Stop drinking, bro. You've done so much damage with that shit. Give it up. I hear what you're saying, and all I say is good luck with your life, bro. I can't forgive you. That underage shit ain't a joke, and I don't take it lightly. Obviously, unforgivable crime right there. That's not something that can just be pushed aside. Like I said, you need to be held accountable one way or another, which is why we're doing this video here, because this information needs to be brought to light. So the final screenshot that I have is Carlos replied to that final message from Nigel. He says, just know I've stopped drinking since my dad died and know that I'm sorry for everything. Wishing you well always and congratulations on going pro. You deserve it. So Carlos didn't deny any of those allegations of touching the girl's boobs as he picked her up, showing up drunk, sending these pictures to underage girls. All he said was that he's trying to do better and he stopped drinking since his dad died, which is a little bit too little, too late in my opinion. Carlos, if you're watching this and you feel like this is a misrepresentation of your side of the story, reach out to me and maybe we can talk and I'll give both sides of the story if the people want to see it. Otherwise, I think this is a pretty damning situation, and a massive thank you to Nigel for sending me this information so that I can get this out there to the public, because at this point Carlos didn't even deny it, so that's pretty much proof on its own to most people. And it's just as surprising to me as it is to you. After watching the Braille videos, you never thought Carlos would do this kind of thing, but it just goes to show that anyone that you know can be a predator. Anyway, guys, that's it for this video. Sorry it's a bit of a downer one. The Amsterdam part 2 will be out soon. See you later.